Welcome to Subramani. Today I want to just clarify my role. Please understand, as a blogger, there are certain things which I can do, and there are certain things which I can't do, and certain things which I shouldn't do. What can I do? I can talk to you about all that I know about investing, whatever it is worth. I'm not a very great capturer of a lot of my actions, but yes, I can tell you what are the mistakes I made, what I did right, what shares I own. There are some shares which I own from the maybe 1970s, some from one share from 1950s bought by my dad, and many shares bought in the 1970s, 80s, which I still hold on. I can tell you that that is completely correct, completely true. I completely, the returns I can calculate and tell you how much it is, but it is completely useless information for you as far as you are concerned, because you have to see what you have to do over the next 30 years. I also have to see what I have to do over the next 30 years. Just because something worked for the last 30 years doesn't mean it will work for the next 30 years. Let's take my investment in HDFC Group. HDFC Group gave a sensational return from 1980, has given and is continuing to give very good returns since 1979-80, when I entered the industry, or when I started investing. My first IPO of HDFC was, I think, 1980. Obviously, we got sensational returns. Obviously, I've sold some shares on the way. Then we got shares of HDFC Bank, HDFC Mutual Fund, HDFC Insurance. And right, so all those things happened. Group Finance I used to hold. Now because of that I am holding Bandhan Bank. So all these things happened because in HDFC. Now the next 40 years of HDFC, or let's say talking from 1980 till today, which means 40 years, will the next 40 years, will it be good for HDFC? Yes. Will it give the same CAGR it gave in the last 40 years? No, extremely doubtful. Many things could change, including saying, mortgage business could become an AI driven business, and AI could lend money. You don't need even a human being to lend money, forget needing branches. But those days, those were the days where in the 1980s you had to pay, I think, 50 rupees for getting a home loan application form. Can you imagine that today? You just go online and fill up a form. That's how you will be buying a mortgage. So obviously things change. Obviously I will have to become a better investor. In about 10 years time I will definitely become a pure passive investor, unless I can find somebody much younger to look after my portfolio along with me. If it could be my daughter, it could be my friend's daughter, it could be anybody, but somebody like that has to look after my assets, or my asset is going to become more passive. Their sheer fun of being active, I'm not sure whether being active is a way to make more money, but it is a good learning, and there are a lot of positive things that you do. You meet people, you meet management, you meet fellow investors, you discuss, all that happens. Can I capture all that on video? Extremely unlikely. Can you build your portfolio based on what I say, on what I bought the share so long back? Can you buy that? Maybe you can buy that. Will you make money? I have no clue. Will I make money on my portfolio over the next 10-15 years? I don't know whether I should be passive for that, or whether I should be active, and whether really it will matter, right? So can I tell you what share to buy in the future? Answer is very unlikely, because I might change my mind. There are times when I bought a share and within a few days realized that it was a mistake and sold. If I tell you that I bought X share today, let us say I tell you that I bought L&T Finance today, it means nothing for you, because I've already bought it maybe on Friday, and maybe I'll exit it on Wednesday. Maybe I'll do that, I don't know. Maybe I'll hold it on for a longer period. But even if if I make an investment in X and it goes up 2x, 3x within the period of say 5-6 months, I just get rid of it, because at that price it may not give me a future return as I thought it is going to give. So I'll again look for the lower end kind of a share, desperately keep looking for it, and then when I buy it, then I will wait. If I bought a huge quantity, then I'll keep on selling on the way up for a little price, and then I will hold back, right? I'll hold on to those shares. So I do things very differently. I trade, I day trade, I invest, I do deep investing. I do all kinds of things. So if I do not know who you are, what's your name, what are you doing, what's your outlook, my outlook could be 20 years, 25 years, right? If your outlook is 2.5 years, then obviously you are looking at a different asset class and I am looking at a completely different asset class. But one thing being in this industry for 30-40 years has helped is knowing that I need not be judgmental. So whether a person doing F&O is doing something wrong, whether a person who is not trading at all is doing something wrong, whether somebody can be a completely pure investor, whether somebody should be a passive investor, I have views on everything. And some of those views could be in conflict also. So what I tell one person may be very different from what I tell another person if I were doing a one-to-one talk. Since I'm doing one-to-many talk, there is a limitation that I have in what I'm going to say. I also don't want to fall foul of the regulator because I'm clearly not certified to be a registered investment advisor. So if I can't do that on a one-to-one basis, I shouldn't be answering your queries on email. I get a lot of queries, some I answer, some I don't. With some people I talk on the phone. All these things happen, but it is very difficult for one person without knowing who is on the other side to be able to give advice. It's almost impossible. So largely the people whom I influence are friends, relatives, customers who have been with me as a broker, right? I use for those who do not know, I was a member at I was a director in a company which was a member at National Stock Exchange. That's the perfect way of saying it. So yes, a lot of things you can learn, but you can't. Let me tell you what you can learn. You can learn how I'm a DIY investor as far as some of my assets are concerned. Largely I take advice. In fact, 90% of my portfolio would be advised portfolio, 10% would be a DIY mess that I have a complete responsibility of making. So even after I spot what has changed over so many years, now even if I spot a share to buy, I don't buy it till I sound out my broker who charges me brokerage, and we discuss a lot about it. And then I decide whether to buy or not to buy. And there are times when I buy it and then I ask him, and the question is, no, I can't actually buy without asking him because I deal only through him. So he has to be convinced that I should be buying it. If that doesn't happen, he does not buy it. Now, am I an independent investor? Yes, I'm an independent investor. Is my portfolio an advised portfolio? Yes, it's an advised portfolio. It's more a discussed portfolio than advised portfolio. But yes, there is an element of somebody else coming and looking at my portfolio, and I get it done by 2-3 people. In the sense, somebody will come and say, how much are you in debt, how much are you in equity, and therefore it would go to an asset allocation dialogue, right? So all these kind of things happen. So I am also constantly learning. You are also constantly learning. So don't try to copy my portfolio based on whatever you hear, etc. And because when I sell, which means there is a change of mind, what I'm going to do is to sell. I'm not going to be calling you up wherever you are, right? Nagpur, Baroda, Surat, doesn't matter. I'm going to sell my share, and after some time I'll say, I bought it this price, I sold it this price, and you could still be holding that, right? So don't make this mistake of thinking that you can copy me and create a portfolio. It's very difficult. If you have a portfolio, you can use this as a basis of review rather than trying to create your own portfolio based on this video. Thank you.